I'm Mike Rubel here. I'm posting letter number 9 to my YouTube channel, Author Rubel. This is kind of an interesting one. Most of it I made up, but some of it was real. And it's an interesting piece called "Dating" and the vagaries of dating in today's world. So it goes like this: dating, whether young or old, is a frightening experience, fraught with angst, yet coupled with a degree of excitement that the choice you made may result in something wonderful. Invariably, however, it's a disappointment when that person you had such high hopes for turns out to be nothing like he or she looked like or appeared to be on the website. Yet we try again and again, following the suggestions of friends and family as to the best website to cast your lot. There are several sites where you're required to post inane things about your likes and dislikes, previous relationships, and whether you are childless or have 5 screaming children, all under the age of 7. You scan the computer like a person fishing with a baited hook and a bobber on the line, floating along a babbling brook, waiting for the slightest movement that would indicate you may have caught something. Days and weeks go by, and finally you have a live one, so to speak. Now the decision is where to meet and, more importantly, what to wear. If you're a man, you put a new shirt on and ensure you're well groomed, have shining shoes, but then again, maybe not. You show up with your regular clothes, freshly pressed, perhaps, showing your independence from the evil fashionista who you may be meeting. As a woman, the decision regarding clothing is even more stressful. You wear something sexy, showing off your curves, or something more voluminous that hides those little few extra pounds you've gained as you've nervously awaited the response from the website and the ultimate selection. The time has come as you wait for the individual that seemed to check all the boxes. And he shows up or she shows up, and you're pleasantly surprised or aghast that your selection is nothing like the person at the other end of the electronic match. Perhaps you've been too anxious that you've not found that perfect person that lights your fire or makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck. You leap at some opportunity that should have been passed over, but your time is short, and you need someone at least to talk to. And if things were right, maybe go to a movie or a walk in the park. Maybe he or she is decent enough that you can introduce them to some of your friends, and then afterwards they huddle to get an opinion of your decision. Is there a scale of 1 to 10 upon which the web-based date is judged? Your friends have a vote, or do they give you the thumbs up or thumb down, much like the emperor in ancient Roman days? I'm writing this because I've never been on a dating site, nor do I ever intend to. I'm thinking about all the men and women that look desperately for that match that will accompany them into the next decade as a partner in travel, moonlight dinners, fun with mutual friends, or even a sexual encounter that is satisfying beyond all your expectations. I suppose that many think I'm not qualified to discuss or even write about something that I've never experienced, but I've talked to and seen the results of friends that have done this an electronic thing and have discussed it with the trials and tribulations of the meets and greets they've encountered along the way. When I was a bachelor many years ago, found that most men, speaking from a men's perspective, are inept at meeting women and find themselves tongue-tied at the prospect of approaching a woman in a restaurant or other public place. For example, I was sitting with a friend of mine in a restaurant lounge that was frequented by single men and women, and he was bemoaning the fact that it was difficult to meet women and to be able to converse with them unless he knew them and they had something in common, like work or a sporting event or a team that was local and they were both fans. Hearing this, I asked him if he'd like to meet those 3 women sitting at the bar. They were over there chatting away as women seem to do, pardon the characterization of women, and he said, yes, that'd be great. So I slid out of my seat and approached them and said with all sincerity, I want to thank you all for buying my friend and I a cocktail. And they both looked aghast at me, and what? They flicked it with furtive eyes to the bartender and said, we didn't do that. I said, well, I just wanted to thank you. And, and of course, we'd like to return the favor and buy you a cocktail, I said with a broad smile on my face. And of course, they all realized that I was kidding, and they laughed at the fact that it was such an absurd approach to meeting somebody. They did, however, accept the offer, and we spent the evening laughing and having a great time. And everybody planned to meet together at some other time and some other place. You see, a man, you're more apt to approach a woman than the reverse. A woman approaching a man is less likely because, ingrained in the psyche of a woman, they might seem to be predator or too forward or unsophisticated to make such an approach. Again, I speak from a man's perspective, but ultimately, it's generally true about the reluctance of women to approach a man. I'm of an older generation. As time has passed by me, I can only imagine that many of the mores of yesteryear have changed regarding unsolicited approaches by both sexes. One final note: when a man approaches a woman who is clearly not interested in his company, the situation poses a major problem. In some cases where drinking's involved, it can become rather unpleasant for the woman, and she moves away or turns her back on him only to find him breathing down her neck. Very unpleasant, and I feel sorry for that situational encounter by women. So as we all move forward in our lives, attempting to find a happy place, it's not easy for those that are searching. I wish you Godspeed and good luck in finding that one person with whom you can and will spend the rest of your life together in harmony. God bless.